Hey, what's up guys? Paul Hopkins here, and I'm sitting here in Weatherford, Texas, a small town to the west of Fort Worth, and it is the last little bit before I travel home before our baby Maggie comes. And I've been away from my family now since last Sunday. Earlier this week, I was in Washington, D.C., and then I drove back to Detroit, flew out the very next day. Didn't even get to go all the way home to see my girls. And I flew here because I had a bunch of meetings with pastors, and I had the opportunity to present at Calvary Baptist Church over here in Weatherford, and so thankful for Pastor Nathan Gazelle for having us out. And I know he was catching a lot of flack because, let's face it, my baby could come at any moment, but this is what we do. I fly all over the country. I drive all over the country in order to raise support to move, and we get a lot of questions. And why are you doing this? Are you crazy for doing this? It doesn't make sense why you're doing this. And the question that bugs me the most is, I could never do this. And that question's really been rattling around in my brain. I could never do this. You see, I feel like there's people all over the world, all over this country, sitting in churches, sitting at home, wanting to do something more, wanting to do something better than their 9-to-5 job, wanting to make an impact. I truly believe that's why our country right now is so divided, because people are holding on to their convictions, that they believe in something very specific, and they think that their core values and the way they vote is going to impact the world for good. And when something's threatened by that, it drives people crazy. I'm driving into Fort Worth today, and as I do this, I'm going to introduce an idea to you. Something more on that later. You see, I feel like churches and communities are filled all over the place of people who want to make a difference, people who have a great idea to make a difference throughout their community, both spiritually and physically. But they're so scared of the risk that they fail to ever try. They're so scared of failure because that's what's been ingrained within our culture, that if you fail, you've made some sort of mistake. So last week I had the opportunity to listen to Bob Goff. He's a lawyer, he's an author, he's a professor, and he's even a diplomat to an African country, to the United States. And he proposed a different idea. He proposed that the reason why people are still hungry in third world countries, why people are still dying without knowing the name of Jesus, and why people are still dying of horrible diseases is because there are so many people throughout our community, throughout our world, that are so scared of failure that they never even try. So he proposed this: fail trying. You see, if we at least try, we might succeed. There are people all over the place that are scared of failure, scared of getting laughed at or ridiculed, that next great idea in world evangelism or social outreach never launches to begin with. So I came away from that thinking, how do I apply that to my life? How do I apply what I need to do to try at? Even if I fail, even if I crash and burn, what do I need to try? So I came up with the idea for this. Today is episode 1 of a vlog I'm going to call Not Your Average Missionary. I say that because I'm not your average missionary. I was a butcher before I became a missionary. This channel is going to be all about giving advice to people who are interested in starting something new, be it a missionary or going to a different country and working or whatever it is. I'm here to start something new, to start something that's a little bit risky, and on top of that, I want to help you, give you advice from not only myself and from our experiences over the past few years, but from my friends as well that are located across the world doing amazing things for God and for the people of their countries. But for now, it's more of a motivational, inspirational / advice. And if there's any topics or subjects that you would like to see kind of covered within that, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'll try to get to it in the near future. Until next time, this is Not Your Average Missionary.